Okay, so from here, let's carry on where we left off in class. I want to just do the shoulders again from the start. Several students had hiccups and wasn't too sure, so I want to start from here just to be safe. So I imported the shoulders, and right off the bat I'm just gonna kill off the right shoulder because we're gonna make things easier by duplicating the placement of the left and to move it over, and then do a couple of other things to the duplicated shoulder afterwards. So initially I had, like I said, 2, but just kill off the other one. Alright, from here I need to make a locator. Create locator. Right? Create locator. Yeah, so also before I forget, write down notes for this tutorial. It's gonna be graded to count points towards. Okay, so locator. We made a locator, and let me just hide that. You're gonna dump the shoulder into the locator. Alright, so middle mouse, click and hold, dump it in here. Alright, so when I open the locator, here's the shoulder controller. Then let's just rename this locator. We're gonna name it ORG for organized container. What type of a container? It's a forward kinematic container, and shoulders. Right. So what kind of forward kinematic? For the shoulders. Yeah. You know what? Let me just make it lowercase. Wait. Shoulder. So next, under its size, shapes, not this, but under shapes, it's local scale set to like something like 4. Alright, so it's bigger. See? So just to quickly review, why did I do this? Well, again, when you're manipulating your puppet, all you want access to are the controllers, right? To manipulate the joints. And the locators are the actual container, right? But the locator does not manipulate the joints, right? So it's like for example, I mentioned before, you cannot just move the shoulder up into the you cannot just move the shoulder controller up into the joint, because if you do, right, it's gonna take up information. For example, if I do something like just snap and move, right, this is just an example, it doesn't mean you do that. You have data in here, right? And not only that, but I want data that is the rotation of this joint. I want that data, right? How this joint is rotated, right? Like that. I want that data to conform with the shoulder. You see, but all of that data and stuff, but it still has to be empty in my shoulder controller. So how do you deal with that, right? Well, that's where, like I mentioned previously, that's where this dummy locator comes in. It'll take up all the garbage, like I mentioned. Okay, just to review why we're doing what we're doing. All right, this guy, since this guy will not be accessible, the locator, okay, since it's going to be deep inside the joint, I don't have to worry about that. And the only thing that will be accessible is the actual controller, which will have nothing in here. So that's the reason why. So now I grab the root parent set of this little setup right here, okay, and I'm going to place it where the shoulder is, okay, and I'm not going to snap and move, right? If I snap and move, sure, it goes to that location, but I also need disjoints, what we call how its rotational axes of this joint. I need that data. And that's why we're going to do the match transforms that, you know, it's listed in my Word document. Alright, so we grab okay, hold on. We grab the ORG, then we shift select the joint, the shoulder joint, deform shoulder left, right? Make sure you grab the ORG, not the controller, but the ORG parent. So you select the ORG FK shoulder first, then you shift select the joint, okay? Then we're going to go to modify, match transformation, match all transforms. So when we do that, it did that. So it just moved it over there, right? Oh, wait a minute, 1 second. So we moved it over there, and you notice when I grab the ORG, right? When I press E for rotate, its rotation, you see, the ORG, its rotation is aligned with the joint. The joint's rotation. If you look at it carefully, you see that? So that's the match transforms, which is, you can see here, it has rotational values. Whereas before, if you just do the snap and move, it does not take up any of the rotational value. That's the big difference why. I've had several students where they just snap and move when it shouldn't be. And that's the reason why you don't do that for this particular case. Other situations we did snap and move, but there's reasons why for those situations. So that's also just to review over the match transforms, because there's something special about it where it matches these critical informations. So in practical application, let's say you have an octopus, right, with tentacles, and you have to rig it. Well, it has a whole bunch of rotations, right? Well, you would need a match transforms to match the rotations of those curvature of your tentacles when you place those joints. That's a real-world example. Okay, now we did that. And next thing is the placement of this, the shoulder, you know, is not the greatest. It's inside of it, which you can't help because it's just rotating due to the rotation of the joint. Okay. So like I mentioned in class, what we're going to do is right click, okay, and maybe not that. Go over here, press this. That turns on the component mode, right? So again, I can just go click on that, right? And looks like nothing happened, right? Some students mentioned that, but you have to actually select it, right? Now it is automatically in components. Grab all of it now, okay? Make sure you're on that. And from here, I'm just gonna turn on the mesh, and I'm just gonna move it up, okay? And right now, if you notice, my rotation's like this, okay? That's because I have when I press the tool settings with the hammer, I set to object, right? I can reset it. Here is your world, right? Yours maybe might be at world, or you could set it to object. World is just straight right angles. Object has that little nuance of its local rotation. If you already set this up, that's fine. You just gotta fast forward this part, and I'm just rotating it. Okay, in case students are not too sure or something went horribly wrong. So I just rotated it using, like I mentioned, object mode. It's a little bit easier because I use the exact rotation of the object. Okay, so something like that. Yeah, maybe press W. Maybe I'll just lift it up. Okay, and I'm just imagining, thinking, oh, do I like this aesthetically? I just did right click, object mode. Yeah, I'm okay with it. So I'm okay with it, fine. Now we're gonna just copy and move over, right? But before that, I'm gonna select the org, right? The root org. From there, I'm going to rename this shoulder left. Right, forgot about that. Okay, so I select the group, not the group, but the main parent set, right? Always make sure. Then just do Command D as in David, or Control D. Make a copy of it. As soon as I make a copy of it, I'm going to name it right. Alright, so we got that. Okay. Then I'm going to just, while that is selected, I'm going to press and hold Shift and select this shoulder. Alright. Then I'm going to do Match Transforms. Modify, Match Transforms. Match All. Okay, it did its thing again. And instead of doing that whole setup, rotating and stuff, what I'm going to do is make sure that I open this up. I click on the shoulder. Okay, just the shoulder. Press 4. You'll see this, right? Then I'm just going to put negative values. So it's going to flip negative on the negative side. And it's perfect. Good. And then I need to zero this out. So modify, freeze transforms. Boom. Clean. Very nice. Okay, good. So from here, what do you do? Let's grab, not grab, but we have to look into the root, because we have to dump these shoulders into the deform spine 3. Not deform, not the spine, the controller. Right, so I grab this controller FK spine 3, and which is located in here. I press F, and here we are. Good. So I'm gonna grab that, press and hold Shift and click. Grab both of it, right? Then middle mouse, click and hold, and drag it and drop it into spine 3. Okay. Now spine 3 has this and that. Right, good. So that's that part. And then from there, we need to open up the connection editor. 1 second. Let me bring this over. Oh God, stop. Alright. So you guys can see here. From here, connection editor. Windows, general editors. Yeah, you have to write this down as well. Connection editor. Okay. Oh. So now we need to connect things, make them live. And from here, we're gonna, on the left column is gonna be the shoulder controller. Select it, right? Reload left, shoulder. And then on the right column is going to be the deform shoulder. Deform shoulder. Okay, reload right. So, and then it has to be the rotates. We did this before, so let's just gonna do it again. Rotate. So the rotate of the control shoulder left is gonna control the rotate of my deform shoulder left. Rotate right there. Okay, good. We did that. Move this out of the way. And now I gotta do it for the other side. I'm going to grab my shoulder on this side. And then I'm going to reload left to repop. Oh, this is actually shoulder. What? Oh, I gotta rename this guy. Jeez. Alright, good. This guy right here. Little things like this. Controller, shoulder, right. Okay. We named it at the organization level, but not at the actual control level. Yeah. So, this guy right here, reload left. Here it is. Good. And then it's joint right here, shoulder right, reload right. Boom. Check, check. Okay, rotate, 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 and rotate. Check and check. Very good. Close. So that's set. Now to save. Alright, good. Alright, from there, it's going on down. So before I go forward, let's see what we just did with that connection editor. So this controller, right, is now live. It is controlling this joint. See? So that's what that was. And this, like that. Okay. Very good. Okay, so you might have noticed where when I was doing this guy was moving, right? Well, this is the demo where everything's already together, and I had to undo that to show that part. So that's the hard part of teaching this. You know, I gotta have multiple versions for, you know, if we did this in class and we reached it, I wouldn't have to worry about that. But now I gotta undo it and show how to do that. So this part we're gonna do right now, but I just gotta change things up right here, right here. parent constraining the IK/FK switch controllers to the shoulder joints, right? So that part is already done here. That's why you saw that when I did this followed. So just for the sake of just showing, I guess, this has this, okay? So this is the parent constraint, which is this parent constraint, the icon, just to show the inner workings again, right? And if I delete that, so what that meant was that this controller has that parent constraint linked to it, right? Just so to help you read these things. And I'm going to delete that. Now it's not linked, this and this, right? So I'm gonna redo this part for you guys and this. Okay, 1 second. Alright, so I undid the other things for this. Now we grab the parent. That's gonna be driving this, meaning in the sense that this will follow, you know, this. Okay, because right now it's just by itself, where, you know, it's not moving. See, which is not good. Ah, jeez, man. Okay, so I want to have him follow him because it's the nearest, right? Well, this is technically the nearest, but let's just put it here. So we're gonna grab the order is parent and child. So this is the parent, this will be the child. So select that joint, deform, shoulder left, and then shift select this, okay? And we're gonna do a parent constraint. Let's go into the rigging menu, constraint, parent constraint. Let me pull open the option box. Make sure maintain offset is on. Okay, hit apply. Now it's all in blue. So the translates and the rotates of this controller is now linked directly to this joint to follow it. Okay. And when I do this, now it follows. See? And let's do it for the other side. And if you look here, here is that thing back again, right? For this guy. Next, parent, child. Where are we? Deform, constraint, parent. Maintain offset is on. Apply. So now, there you go. And the switch still works. See, on, off and on, off and on. Good. But there's a couple of things I mentioned. So we're gonna lock and hide, right? IK, FK switch controller. The translate, rotate, and scale. So for example, this guy, all this stuff should not be accessible, only the switch. Okay, so for example, I could accidentally do this, you know, which is not good. So what we're gonna go do is left click and drag all the way down to here, and then we're gonna go right click again. That's these guys. Do not select that. Right click, lock and hide. Okay, watch what happens. Now you can't do anything with it, and it is locked, so you can't move it, nothing. See how it's grayed out? Alright, let's grab this one. Left click, drag up to here, right click, lock and hide. There. Very good. Alright, good. And the last part, this part, we did it in class. Okay. I hope you guys did. I did mention to let me know if you weren't able to do it. So, right. So we should be good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Fine. I'll do it. There's gonna be someone who just didn't pay attention or just didn't say anything. So let's just get that over with. The paint weights. I'm gonna unlock the mesh. Okay. And from there, skin, paint, weight, paint, skin, weights, option box. Good. Right, paint, skin, weights, option box. And then you select the root, and you see it all in like white, this section. And over here, right, I showed in class. Right, and then if I scroll down, you set the value to 0. Okay, you select the root, only the root. You set the value to 0, and you start painting. Right, and you press B as in Bob to scale the brush in and out, and left click drag. Okay, B as in Bob and left click drag to scale the size. And you, like I said, place this to 0, it'll gray out everything, black out everything. Okay, and that's how you do that last part. Okay, I had to cover this. You just never know who did or did not do it. Alright, so that's it. So that's that part, and I'm gonna move on to the next parts. I'm gonna upload this onto YouTube and make an announcement. Alright, bye bye.